Hi and welcome back to the channel. You may have watched my Black Friday ARTURIA video last week and I did say that I was getting a great deal on the V Collection 9. So I went ahead and got it because it was just an absolute no-brainer. So I mean it's still on sale for half price at €299, and I was getting it for €149, and that worked out to be about £135, and that didn't just include the 33 instruments. That included also 14 sound packs, and they generally sell from between 10 and €30. I used the Analog V Pro that I got with the Keylab 49 Essential, and I would really recommend that you get a 49 Essential, and they've got a Mark III out at the moment as well, which is selling for about €200, and I think it's on Amazon for about £170. So you get the black version as well. So the black version is normally dearer, but on Amazon they're the same price, so they're both about £170. And if you are going to use like either Analog Lab or the V Collection, you have to really have an ARTURIA keyboard, because the whole thing is kind of mapped automatically. I mean, you obviously could use another controller, but it would take you a hell of a long time. All 9 knobs and 9 faders are already mapped. This does look very similar to my Mark II. The only thing is they've coloured these, and this is changed to, this is a kind of black plastic main controller knob, and the screen is bigger, so the screen is now like 3 lines instead of 2. So like I said, it is definitely worth getting. I'm just going to go over quickly what you are getting before I go into actually looking at the software. So if we go to details, and before I forget, there is actually an update. If you've already got version 9, there is a 9.2 update, which does include quite a few new additional tweaks. So they've actually split it up into analog and digital. So you can see this is all the analog ones. So one of the new ones is the MS-20. You've got the Juno 6, the OPX-A. You've got the Jupiter 8, the Prophet 5, the Synthé, the classic CS80, the Bushla Easel, the Mini V, the Modular V, the ARP 2600, the SEM, the Matrix 12, and the Vocoder V. And then the digital synths are, so the SQ80 is one of the new ones, the Emulator II, which is possibly one of the best ones, the CZ, the classic DX7, the Synclavier, and the Prophet VSV. And then last but not least is the CMI, which is just, I mean, what is that? Anyway, and then you've got organs and keyboards. So you've got the Mellotron, the B3, the Farfisa Vox Continental, and then the acoustic pianos. So you've got the Piano V, the Stage 73, and the Selena, and the Whirly and the Clavinet. Then last but not least, you get 2 of the Augmented series strings and voices. So that is everything that you're getting for your €300. So that is a quick overview of the V Collection 9. So I am going to open up Analog Lab V, and we're going to have a look at it within that. So I will see you in a minute. Here we are in Analog Lab V, and this is the Pro version, as you can see. So this is what you get if you buy one of the keyboards. I got this full version of Analog Lab V when I got the Keylab 49 Essential. So you can use all of the V Collection from within Analog Lab, and that is definitely easier. But you can open these either in your DAW or as a standalone VST. So if I go to my applications, you can see that is the whole list of separate VSTs for the V Collection 9. So you've got that option as well. Like I said, you can just open these individually, or like I said, you can open them within whichever DAW you are using on an instrument track. But like I said, it is actually easier to use Analog Lab because you can switch between them obviously a lot quicker. I'll just recap what Analog Lab kind of looks like. So you've got all your sound types, so you can browse by sound type. You've got all your instruments, you've got your sound banks, and discover more sound banks, and then you've got your designers. So if you go to store, and then you click on owned, you will get your sound banks that are available to download. So there's, like I said, there's 14 new ones, and I have obviously got some already, like the Wavelength, Cinematic, and Eurobase. Some of the new ones are like Vector Atmospheres, Nexus Cinematic, Crosswave Techno. I mean, I've had a look at some of them, and you can see obviously ones that I haven't downloaded. So Lo-Fi Cartridge I haven't downloaded. It's got little cloud symbol, and these ones. So you can see all the ones that I've downloaded have got blue ticks. And from what I've seen so far is that a lot of these are instrument specific. So like they're all done with one instrument. Certainly the sort of 2 or 3 that I've looked at, whether or not that's going to be the same with all of them, because a lot of these are done with, you know, lots of different instruments within Analog Lab. So that is how you get a hold of them, because it took me a wee while to figure it out. And like I said, you can buy them on the store. So if I click off owned, you can see, I mean, most of these are between $10 and $30. These are in now, so we're going from euros to dollars. So yeah, so like I said, they are quite cheap, some of them, and like I said, there's a ton of freebies as well. So these are the kind of latest ones. Some controls down here, so you can either switch on the controls, which you would normally have on, and you can switch on the keys as well. So you can see, so sometimes you don't need that because the actual instrument has the keys on the screen as well. And then you've got a history, so you can see there's not anything happened yet, and then you've got a redo, an undo, and a redo, and then it gives you a little meter on your CPU. So we're running at 5% and I haven't even done anything yet. So if we go to show all in the instrument, which is what I normally kind of start off with, so I'm just going to pick a couple of these to show you the difference between a normal Analog Lab and when you have the V collection. So we'll start off with a bit of DX7, and we'll have a look at Deckard's DX, which is one of my favorite patches. So it kind of looks the same as Analog Lab. Like I said, it doesn't look like, so, you know, you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference between this and the V collection? Well, the main thing is you can actually open the DX7. That is pretty much, so you've got the same edit preset bit where you can change the effect A, effect B, and delay and reverb. So that's exactly the same. So if we go to open DX7, you will actually get the full instrument. So if I switch, so I don't need to switch on the keys because the keys are obviously there. So, but if I switch on controls, you can see I've got the operators. So there's 6 operators, and you can see that they are already mapped to the first 6 knobs going left to right, and then we've got delay, volume, and reverb volume there as well. The so we can have a bit of. So this is what the DX7 kind of looks like. So you've got your volume, you've got your data entry, so you've got group 1, 2, the envelope solo and the delay, and then you've got feedback, pitch, EQ, poly, on, gliss, and then you've got the ARP section there, so you've got rate, patterns, octaves, times for the pormento as well. Plus you've got the transpose, tuning, AMD, PMD, and PMod sends. And then you've got all these kind of presets. So you can either scroll up and down. So these are all the operator presets, or you can click. And like I said, I can control. This is why you need one of these keyboards, because I can control everything from here. So the operator levels. So I can take all the operator levels down. So there's NAF all, and then I'll bring them up. So that's them all up. And then I can adjust the chorus mix and the movement. So you can see the movement makes a bit of a difference. And then the timbre. So I think we need to move the movement back down again. And I kind of screwed it up. And then, like I said, we could switch the ARP on and go to up and down inclusive, and then whack it up to maybe 3 octaves. go down an octave. So you've got all these other controls that you can get into that you don't get with the standard version of Analog Lab. Like I said, you've also got the advanced section as well. So you've got the overview, the envelopes, the mods, and the effects. So yeah, well, and like I said, if I take the controls out of the way, so we can go in and change all the envelopes as well. And then you've got your operators there, the same as on the keyboard. So like I said, we could just change the operator preset and get something. I'll tell you what, I'll take art off, and we'll change this. So that's completely screwed that up. Baseline. Right, let's have a look. See, that's only using 2 operators, so we could bring an operator 2, see what difference that makes. Or operator 4, that's the movement. So we've got 50 sci-fi. We can bring in some phaser. And operator 6. So you can see it's pretty cool. So anyway, so that's the DX7, how that kind of looks. So if I go back to home, and we'll maybe have a look at the Emulator 2, because this is possibly one of the coolest ones. So if we go to open Emulator 2, so you can see I've got this favorite called Amazonian Vibes. So and it obviously gives you the number of presets up for each instrument. So this has got 260. So we'll open the Emulator 2, and this is just fantastic. I mean, how cool is this? So if I bring my controls up, we can bring in some LFO delay and a bit of time, or notice I'm bringing a bit of movement again. So you get to see the keyboard. So like I said, there's not really much point having the keys, because you've got them on the keyboard, so that's pretty cool. And then you've got your pitch and mod. So if I adjust some of these, so you can see the brightness is actually mapped to the frequency. So if I bring the controls back up, so you can see that is the brightness is adjusting the frequency, and then I think the timbre is adjusting resonance. So you've got LFO, delay, vibrato, and you've got an ARP and effects as well. So you've got delay, reverb, chorus, and the voices. So if we go to screen, you can see what is going on with this particular patch. So there's beach crickets, there's storm drain, digital effects or digital PX, AN1X pad, the Vocaloid, and the last three are empty. So this gives you an idea of what is going on. And then you've got edit, assign, effects. I mean, it is just absolutely mental. So you've got voice effects, you can change there as well. You see you've got chorus, phaser, distortion. Put some distortion on, bring up the drive. So So that is going to be on Beach Crickets. So you can do this for each one. So we could bring in a phaser on the storm drain. So yeah, so like I said, you could go in and spend hours just faffing about with like one preset. And then, I mean, how cool is this? Plus you actually get to see the move in here as well. So you can see that is like what is actually happening there. It's just zooming in. So it's actually really cool. I love that preset. I love like a bit of Beach Crickets. And what else have we got? Let's try an atmosphere. Like I said, I've not really had a chance to go through a lot of these yet. So let's see. I've got a quiet moment. So like I said, for soundscapes and ambient kind of electronica, whatever you might want, even lo-fi, the Emulator II is pretty cool. And like I said, you've got loads and loads of presets. So let's try lo-fi keys. So it is, let's just see what we're using there. So so that's only 2. So we're using spectral fidget on 2 of them. So the rest of them are empty. The only thing is, I'm not quite sure how to bring in other presets into here. So it says that you can. So if I hover over this, so you've got solo mute, and it says copy this voice to another voice slot, and then voice link to link. So activate to add this voice to the linked voices group, and then the linked voices share the same parameter. But I'm not quite sure how I bring in like another preset, because if I click on that, nothing happens. So I don't know if I go into assign, or I don't really know how to. So I'll need to try and figure out how to actually open up. So I could copy that and paste it into there. So I've got 3 of them now. But what happened? I want another. So I could then, you know, whatever, put on, say, the phaser on that one. So that one's got the bit crusher, and that one's got the chorus. So I could, and then you can adjust the volume here for each one as well. So you can see the levels moving there. So I've got 3 spectral fidgets. But like I said, how do I, oh, is it there? Aha, found it. Right, so that's how you do it. Right, so hang on, I'll go back. How do I go back? Oh God. Right, so that's empty. So got factory and user. Right, so that's where it is. God, you think I could find that? Right, so let's bring in a cello and violin. How do I load it? Add sample. Oh shit, no. Right, that's it. It's in. Right, so I've got a cello now. Right, so I'll mute that one. Maybe not. Hang on, let's bring in some strings. Right, that's it. Terrible. That's not a good. Right. Anyway, so at least I figured out how to I couldn't see that bit up there. Right. So that's a way of doing it. That's how you get extra samples. Right. So that is the Emulator II. So one of the new ones that they added, I think, is the SQ80. So we'll have a look at that, and then I've got some favorited. Let's try Berlin Rush. So we'll open up the SQ80. And this is a crosswave synthesizer. So you can see there it's got 3 oscillators, and you can obviously sync them and cross them over. and then there's a filter, and then a DCA. And the other thing is this one has, so you can, so this is the hardware, and then you've got the synthesis, so it looks a bit like pigments. So we could bump up res. Change the sustain. A bit more sustain on. Release. And then there's effects. So we could adjust the high pass frequency. And so there's a bit crusher, there's a multi-comp reverb and a bit crusher. So take the bit crusher off and put some flanger on. Or we could stick on the Juno chorus. So yeah, and then if we whack the controls on, we can see. So bring up the brightness. And whack a bit of movement on. That's the filter cutoff. Actually, I've changed the chorus mix. So that's mapped to the filter res. Right, so hang on, go back and let's try fade in memory. Or greetings from Detroit. So this is a bass line. Let's see what's happening here. I do like this one, it's pretty cool. And effects, we've got the Juno chorus, the compressor, and reverb and delay. So we could adjust the movement in the chorus. So that changed that a bit. What the hell? Alright, we'll take down the movement again. Hang on, did I change the movement? Yeah, we'll take the movement down. Let's try one of Jean-Michel's. A bit subtle, Jean. Synthesize, hardware, what are we happening? What's happening? Not a lot, really. So we can change. Got a sine wave on. Better. And we've got a bell, so we can take the bell and change the bell to pulse. So that is the SQ80. So like I said, that is was the difference between the Analog Lab V and the full version of the V collection. Yeah. So anyway, that is it for today. So that went on way too long. So hopefully that will give you an idea of what you actually can do with the full Analog V collection. And like I said, I will be doing some more individual instruments, certainly some of the augmented ones, and things like maybe the updated CS80 and maybe the new Prophet VS. As usual, if you have enjoyed these videos, please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I will see you in the next one.